Hello and welcome to another episode of my podcast, Courage to Overcome, where I talk about destructive, manipulative people and relationships, and also inspirational and motivational content. So if you like this kind of thing or you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. So today I want to talk about triangulation. So let me just define what it is. Triangulation is a manipulative tactic the toxic person or narcissist uses to create conflict and strife between two or more people. It's an emotionally destructive act designed to intentionally devalue and invalidate the romantic partner. It is also intended to instill insecurity and jealousy. Triangulation is emotionally destructive as it causes division, creates mistrust, and low self-esteem. So, for understanding, I would like to talk about different kinds of scenarios of triangulation. So, a common example would be the narcissist or the toxic person, his wife, and another female. So that's three people. And so what will happen is that the narcissist would pitch one against the other, normally the wife and the other female. And it might be a situation where, for example, all three of them go out to dinner. And then the narcissist would be more attentive to the female and would almost completely ignore the wife. And so the narcissist will pay compliments to the female, express awe and admiration at the other female's accomplishments, just be paying more attention to the female and making the wife feel like she's not important, or unattractive, making her feel insecure, uncomfortable, and jealous. And then, so after the dinner, when the other female is not around, the wife would discuss her feelings with the husband or the narcissist, as it were, and he would dismiss her feelings and her emotions and claim that she's misreading the situation or that she's jealous. So the goal for the narcissist is to cause the wife to, if it's something that continues to go on and on, the goal is for the wife or the girlfriend or whatever to develop low self-esteem, insecurities, and jealousy. So I have a scripture here from Psalms 55, verse 21. And it says, "His speech is smooth as butter, yet war is in his heart. His words are more soothing than oil, yet they are drawn swords." So it's like in his heart, even though he's speaking and it seems like what he's saying is really wonderful and terrific, especially to the other female, in his mind and in his heart, it's conflict, it's war. He wants to create chaos and everything. So I want to talk personally about situations that had happened personally to me. My husband used to do this a lot with me, to me, and, with me and with other females, especially with members of the church. So there was a particular occasion in church, I think we had a Bible study. And then after the meeting, everybody was socializing with each other. And he then began to speak to a member of the church, and he was just lavishing so much praise upon the person. It was obviously a female, lavishing praise on she was a leader in the church, admiration, and just really just going on and on and on, and even to the point where the actual person was even feeling uncomfortable themselves, So if you can tell when somebody's feeling a bit uncomfortable, because of all the everything that he was just saying. They felt uncomfortable. Even I was uncomfortable, and the person was feeling uncomfortable as well. And so I wanted to question him about that. Now, I don't want it to come across as I was feeling jealous or anything, because I know who my husband was at the time. We're divorced at the moment. I know who my husband was, and I know his intention. I knew him very well, and I knew what he was doing at that time. So I questioned him about it, and obviously he just did the same thing as he normally does, and he just fobbed it off as not being anything, to deal with or whatever. And I did speak to him about it. Now, like I said, I'm not a jealous person. I mean, if somebody's doing well and they're winning, I'm the kind of person that would celebrate it, would acknowledge it, and that's the kind of person I am, or have always been like that, But I just felt that I needed to speak to him about the way that it was done. It was done in a way that even the person who was the object of all the attention and the admiration and everything was feeling slightly uncomfortable. So I told him how I felt about it, and then, that was it. And then the following week, when we had the Bible study again, he went to that same person in my presence and did the same thing over again. And it was I just knew that it was a dig at me that, look, you know what? I'm going to do what I want. You're not going to tell me what to do. And I know this makes you uncomfortable, so I'm just going to continue doing it because it makes you uncomfortable. That's the kind of person that he was. I would see deliberate attempts to make me jealous. Whenever he would talk about a particular female, for example, there was one particular female that, I really loved her because of the way she is and the way how she's very giving, very humble person. And we would talk about her, and then he would just out of the blue say, "Oh, but you're jealous of her, aren't you? You're jealous, aren't you?" And I would look at him strangely like, but I'm not jealous of her at all. I mean, I really love her. And that was the truth. It was like he really wanted to see some kind of jealousy from me. A very manipulative and extremely disturbing. Another example of triangulation would be on some occasions when my former husband and I were discussing things or issues, and in order to buttress his opinion or his point, he would bring somebody in and say, well, this person agrees with me, this person says that I'm right, this person said this is the way to do it. And usually the person who he picks is someone who I have a respect and I have a high regard for. And because he picked that person and said that person agreed with him, I would concede and say, and I will say, okay, well, if that's what that person said, then maybe, you're right. But I found out later on that he's never ever even talked to her about this particular issue that we were talking about. So he was using her as a manipulative tactic to use against me, to get me to agree with whatever it is that to agree with whatever it was that he was saying. Another example is that he would pit two members of the church against each other, and all these people that I'm talking about, all of them were female. All of them were female. So on one occasion, my husband told me, to visit a very active member of the church who had stopped coming abruptly to the church. I found out later on that my husband had employed a personal assistant who was now doing the work of that other active member at that time. And now that person, the new person that he had employed, she was doing all the work that active member used to do before. So he was giving this new person more attention, more work, and practically ignoring the other person. And so the other person felt slighted, felt ignored, felt abandoned. And so she stopped coming to church. So my husband told me that I should go and visit her. So when I went to visit her, I found out that she had actually started attending another church. And so I had to speak to her and counsel her and encourage her. And she started coming back to the church again. And then my husband gave her another role, another prominent role in the church, just to keep her in the church. Another scenario is, for example, he would be helping two members of the church. Well, no, maybe not two members of the church, but two female members. I mean, two females. One was a member of the church. Another was another from another church or whatever. And they had similar projects that they were involved with. They were individual projects, but similar. And so what he would do was he would have a meeting with one of them, that's the member of the church, one that was the member of the church. And then he would begin to, if the member of the church disagreed with the direction that he wanted her to go in, then what he would do was he would say, well, the other person that he's helping, she listened to him and this is how well she's doing now. And then he will bring out all of the other person's profile picture, the work and everything, and the stuff that is in the magazines or whatever, and say, look at how well she's doing, putting pressure on the member of the church to do what he wants her to do. And then when he meets with the other person who is not a member of the church, then he will do the same thing with that person as well and say, the member of the church, she's helping her with this and she's done that and done this and look at how well she's doing. And he will start to show her the things that person is doing, and so she's really successful now, blah, 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 and this and that. That's what he used to do. And this is what he used to do to get them to agree with whatever he wants to do. So it's like a cycle of abuse back and forth, with the narcissist in control of the women's emotions. So like I said, the ultimate goal of the narcissist is to create conflict between two people to, those two people that were in conflict with each other in the different scenarios, they would be when they finally meet their when they're around those people, they will be feeling a bit insecure, thinking, she's doing really well. And I've seen all the stuff that Pastor this showed me, and she's doing. And so they start feeling jealous and they start feeling insecure about the other person, and vice versa, which is exactly how the narcissist wants them to feel. He wants to be in control of the women's emotions. So like I said, the ultimate goal of the narcissist is to create conflict between two people, to gain control and gain attention. They take pleasure at people's hurt feelings. They have no empathy or compassion for others at all. So that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoy this episode. Please like and subscribe, and I'll meet with you again in my next episode. Take care and God bless.